Welcome to Unit 9. That's right. You're sitting here at the table, and at this table, you are negotiating the contract. Oh my God. Unit 9 is all about that idea. What you're going to do when you're sitting down with your lawyer, because if you're talking about a major league, major label contract, you're going to want to have a lawyer. And your lawyer is sitting next to you. Their lawyers are sitting next to them. Your recording contract is on the table in front of you. What are you going to do? You better know the terms. You better understand the terminology. That's what Unit 9 is about, getting you comfortable with the terminology and all of the various factors that go into a major label recording contract. We'll be looking at the others too, but especially that. And there's a reason you want to know this, and not just the fact that you might get a major label contract, but it's because lots of things are negotiated in this. For example, there's a reason Lady Gaga is at the top of the charts, and I'm not talking about her music or her validity or whether you like her music or you don't. We're not talking about what we think. What we're talking about is the business side of it and the fact that she was paid by Amazon.com $3 million in order for them to have the rights to, when they rolled out their big streaming, Amazon is now streaming music, their big rollout of this exciting new delivery system. What they also did was to pair it up, to match it up with the release of Lady Gaga's record. And by doing that, they got the big promotion push for Amazon, and Lady Gaga got the big promotion push for her record, which pushed it up to 1.5 million sales in a week. That's the kind of muscle power that you see with a major label. An independent can't do that. A DIY can't do that. The way that DIYs do it is they have to come up with something very, very, very brilliant, like in Rainbows. Now, you can argue that the guys basically figured out by charging any price for In Rainbows, Radiohead, that they would create a big, huge deal. And you can also argue that by being a band that was previously signed to a major label, they had a great deal of push behind them in the beginning. But still, it was a pretty brilliant move. So it doesn't matter whether you're hip-hop or whether you're R&B or whether you're new soul or whether you're electronica or bluegrass, the power of a major label really helps. There's a reason we know about Bela Fleck, and that's because he was signed to Warner Brothers. So these major label contracts have got some pretty interesting clauses in them, including the clause that basically set up the Lady Gaga deal in order to get $3 million so that anybody could download her entire album for 99 cents for, whatever it was, a weekend. So these kinds of things are hammered out, but more specifically, there's really basic terms that are hammered out. Your advance, whether it's what's called a fund or whether it's what you might call expenses plus. So all of these things are part of the contract that you negotiate, and you don't have to negotiate it. In fact, if you get a major label deal, you get yourself a lawyer. Yeah, that's pretty basic. But what you do is get to know the terms. You don't want to be the person in the room who's going, can you explain what recoupment means? You want to know what recoupment means. You want to be smart enough to get through these terms and understand them. Even if you don't go into music business, one of the things that you want to do is to understand the terminology. Especially now when record companies are basically offering only the 360 deal. So it's pretty important to do. That's what Unit 9 is about. When we get to Unit 10, we're going to be talking about DIY, doing it yourself. And the most important aspect of that is distribution and, of course, marketing with that. So here you go. Unit 9, the record deal. Dive in. It ain't that hard. You're going to get it. You're going to get it just fine. And you're sitting at the table and you're negotiating. It all looks pretty good, doesn't it? right here, these deal points. They look good. You're going to do okay.